Hello, beloveds, and welcome to this elemental tarot reading. This video is designed to support your sacred realignment through the lens of the four elements: earth, air, water, and fire. And each message is connected to a specific element group, but how you use this is completely up to you. For example, you might be drawn to the element of your sun sign, like Cancer for water or Leo for fire. But if you're someone who knows your full natal chart, I invite you to explore the elements that are dominant in your energy. For example, you may be a Libra sun, but you have a strong earth and water presence, so those might speak to you more deeply. Trust your resonance. Let your soul guide you to the message you most need in this moment. Timestamps are available below, so follow the pull to your intuition and dive in wherever you feel called. Hello, water elements. As we enter the realm of water, we are addressing for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Or maybe you're here because the primary or dominant element that's in your chart is water. For you, this is an emotionally sacred time. And so we're asked to pause, to feel, and to listen, not just with our ears, but with our inner tides. So the cards were randomly drawn. And it's interesting, these three cards here are definitely reflecting a deep healing arc, one that begins in the shadow and ends with gentle emergence. So the first card is the Devil. So this card invites us to confront what holds us captive, either emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. This isn't about punishment. It's actually about awareness. So here's a question for you. Where have you given your power away? And it's important, especially for water energy, not to be projective. So asking about where have you given your power away, not to others, but to your own patterns. That's the story here. And the other question I'm hearing to ask you, is there a story or a relationship or even a secret belief that's quietly shaping your reality? So this card is asking you, are you ready to see it clearly so you can finally be free? And the second card comes the Star. This is like a quiet miracle. I'm going to say that's, if you're going to get Devil for the first card, having the Star be the second one is a good sigh of relief. It's about after darkness. There is a glow. It's sometimes subtle, but it's undeniable. This card reminds you that healing doesn't actually come in a flash. It arrives in permission. The permission to hope again, to actually possibly believe again, to trust and have faith that the light you've been searching for is, well, it's already flickering inside you. So the Star card is reminding you of your soul's gentle yes, just showing up for yourself, saying yes to the universe. And finally, the third card is the Hermit, but it's reversed. And this is where water signs are being asked to re-emerge. You've done the inner work. You've carried your lamp into the shadows, but now the medicine is to come back, to actually share your light, and to re-enter life. Not perfectly, but authentically. And that's the key there. There's no more room for hiding. And you are no longer waiting to be whole. You already are. So, just kind of in summary, this water season brings a turning point for you. And it asks you to release what has actually been binding you and remember what heals you. And then you return to the world with the quiet power only depth can teach. So, let your tears flow if they must, and let the past drift away back into the tide. And your light is rising now, not as fire, but as reflection, wisdom, and your radiant truth that's been beneath the waves. Namaste, beloved. Hello, beloved fire energy, either Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or maybe you have predominantly fire in your chart. This is the main element you are working with. So welcome. This is definitely when the cards were chosen randomly, and it definitely is saying that you're supposed to be called back to your center when I had read them and looked at them. So as we enter the element of fire, the message is sharp, fast, and, well, unignorable. And your energy is your sacred fuel. But not everything deserves your flame. Let's begin. The first card I had chosen was the Two of Pentacles, but it was reversed. So this shows imbalance. The juggling act isn't sustainable anymore, pretty much. And you may be managing too much emotionally, mentally, or energetically. And something is slipping. So this card asks you, in a sense, the first question that's popping up in my head is, what are you holding on to that's draining your fire? If you don't know how to quickly answer that, that would be a good journal question for you. So next, the Queen of Swords, but it was also reversed as well. So this is about sharpness turned inward or outward. You might be cutting too quickly, like speaking too fast or distancing from your own truth. So fire signs, this is a reminder. Clarity isn't cruelty, and silence isn't strength. It's time to come back to clean, honest communication with yourself first. Do remember that. And finally, the Knight of Swords. Well, this card is about pure momentum. Thought meets action, in a sense. And this also tells me you're ready to move forward, to speak up, and to act. But the message here is you move with focus, not fury. So let your direction be guided by clarity, not chaos. It's an important one to remember on this one. So with this fire cycle, it is asking you to pause just long enough to refocus your aim. You are powerful, but even fire needs direction. So release that extra weight, the thing that's been keeping you down, so you can sharpen your truth and move like you mean it. Namaste. Hello, beloved earth energies, and welcome either Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or maybe in this lifetime you are dealing mostly with earth element. So welcome. I randomly chose the cards, and when I looked at them I was like, ooh, this is a big one for you guys. Actually, to let you know, all of the elements are going through some big transformative stuff, so this is all good though. So as we move into the element of earth, the energy becomes kind of heavy, real, but also sacred. You guys are standing at the edge of an emotional threshold. So That means this is the season of truth, release, and also deep soul composting. So the Seven of Scrolls appears first, and it's revealing what's actually been hidden or denied. So maybe it's a truth you've avoided, or maybe it's an old narrative still quietly running your life. Either way, this card is actually inviting you to stop pretending. It's saying that you are ready to see clearly, or it wouldn't be revealing to you. And so next comes the Three of Scrolls. And this is about the heartache. Painful, yes, but it's also honest. So this card doesn't bring suffering, in a sense, it brings clarity. And it breaks open what's been held too tightly by you so that healing can finally begin. And then we have the Death card. So it's important that you remember it's not an end, but a sacred release. And you're being asked to let something fall away so your next evolution can take root. This is the power of earth magic, actually. It's about decay that becomes nourishment. Endings that become soil for your rebirth. So overall, this earth cycle is, it's asking you to be courageous. Not to fight, but be courageous to surrender. And I know that can be very hard for the earth elements. But just remember, let what's over be over. Let your grief make way for your growing. And trust that the ground beneath you that is shifting, it's supporting you for your next becoming. Namaste. Hello, beloved air elements. So you're either Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or possibly you have a lot of air in your chart and you are dealing with a lot of that element. Either way, welcome. So I had randomly chosen the cards, and as I was reading through it, it definitely came it was interesting. So I will share with you what I got from it. So as we arrive in the realm of air, the winds slow down. So your mind it's telling me from the readings, your mind is full and your heart is stirring and your spirit is asking you to breathe. And this is a time right now for recalibration, for focus, for the flow, and what truly nourishes you. So the first card that was chosen was the Page of Pentacles. Now this one brings curiosity and fresh vision, and you're also holding a seed of potential. But it does need clarity and care, gentle care. This isn't about rushing through things. It's actually about rooting. So the question that's coming to mind for me is, what intention are you ready to invest in, slowly and steadily? And if you don't know the answer of that, that's a good journal question for yourself. Go inward with that one. And then the second card is coming in as the Knight of Pentacles, but it was reversed. So that is a reminder that discipline without soul becomes stagnation in a sense. So maybe in a sense you've been over planning, maybe you've been hesitating, or maybe just stuck in a routine that is kind of making you feel a little dead inside, if you know what I mean. So it's time to shift that. But remember, it's not about speeding up, but it's about realigning with purpose. That's the important part of that. And finally, the last card is the Empress. Well, she's inviting you to soften. And it's more about receiving and to allow beauty and pleasure and intuition to guide your next steps. So your growth is actually going to come not from effort, but by being nourished where you are. And like we mentioned before, that doesn't come with rushing things. So in summary, for the air energy, element air energy, this is a moment to listen more than act. Allow yourself to breathe and soften and trust your inner rhythm. And also let go of perfection. Just let go of perfection and let in presence. The answers are already on the wind. You just need to space. You just need that space and that softness to be able to hear it. Namaste.